What's up, guys? This is Josh here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. And in this episode of let's talk about Sean McDermott being fired by the Bills. And then also, let's talk about Jeff Hafley getting hired as a head coach of the Miami Dolphins. But before we get to that, let's talk about Sean McDermott. So I learned about this news this morning, hopping on my phone on the ESPN app. That news could have crept in last night. I don't know. But the news came to me this morning that Sean McDermott was fired from the Bills. Now, this does not come to me at no surprise. I knew that his seat was heating up, and that this was a make or break season for him if they did not go to the Super Bowl. Now, the question was, for me, is it Josh Allen? Is it Sean McDermott? Or is there, like, the Kansas City Chiefs, their kryptonite? Personally, the past 2 years, I've been wondering if it is Sean McDermott who's holding Josh Allen and the Bills back from getting to the Super Bowl. And luck would have it, the Kansas City Chiefs were knocked out of the picture to enter into the playoffs. So you would think, hey, it's smooth sailing from here for the Bills, that finally the Bills can go to the Super Bowl. But if you've seen that game against the Denver Broncos, you've seen how upsetting it was. Like, it hurt me as a fan for Josh Allen, because I'm like, I'm pulling for you, bud. Like, I really want you to go to the Super Bowl. And not just him, but I'm pulling for you, Bills fans. Like, y'all have been very, like disappointed over the years. You'll get to the Super Bowl and then you lose. And it's just upsetting for y'all. Like, y'all cannot get that monkey off your back. And I really wanted that for y'all. But we all know what happened in that game, at least most of y'all, since y'all watched the game. I know that there was a controversial call, whether it was a catch or an interception. I'm not going to get into that, but you can leave your comments down below to tell me your thoughts on it. But keep it respectful, please. So anyway, Sean McDermott being fired, I hate it for him because I don't think he was really a bad coach. And to compare Sean McDermott to my head coach, Matt LaFleur, who got an extension, here's some information for you. Sean McDermott's final record with the Buffalo Bills after 9 seasons, 2017 to 2025, was 98-50 in the regular season and 8-8 in the playoffs, marked by significant success, including 7 straight seasons, 10+ wins, and multiple AFC Championship appearances. Quite a resume. Excuse me. I know that was weird holding it with 2 hands, but I didn't mean to do that. Now, here is my coach, Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur holds a strong regular season record. The Green Bay Packers at 76 wins, 40 losses, 1 tie through his first 7 seasons, 2019 to 2025, leading them to 6 playoff appearances and 3 NFC North titles, though postseason success has been limited to 3-6 overall, with 2 NFC Championship games trips early on in recent playoff struggles. So those early on NFC Championship games, that came from Aaron Rodgers, not Jordan Love. Just making that clear, in case you're wondering. But if you look at the record, like, granted, like, Sean McDermott only had like 2 more years than Matt LaFleur. I mean, they're somewhat similar in the regular season, but in the postseason, there is a huge difference. It shows that Sean McDermott did something in the postseason that Matt LaFleur has yet to do in the postseason. So, I'm not 100% sure if this is on Sean McDermott, losing, the playoffs, or, not getting the Bills over the hump. Time would tell. But honestly, like I tell fans of football and many Packers fans that you stick with a person that you know versus someone that you don't know. Now, what I mean is, um, right now there is no better quarterback, or excuse me, better head coach than Matt LaFleur right now. That is available. Now, if Mike Tomlin was available, then I would like come to Green Bay. But one of my coworkers told me that um, that's most definitely probably not going to happen from a head coaching standpoint, just because he is probably burnt out. Like um, he's been doing it for many years. He has a quite a resume, and I'm sure he's tired of getting the backlash from the media and fans about how the Steelers ended their season and whatnot. So there is that. So you let me know in the comments below what your thoughts of Sean McDermott. If you're a Bills fan, tell me how are you feeling right now? Are you excited that they parted ways with Sean McDermott? Are you relieved? Are you upset? Let me know, you as a fans, how do you feel how the Bills produce, and what do you think was holding them back? Let me know. Again, keep it respectful. Now, to my former defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley. So, the Miami Dolphins are hiring Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley to become their next head coach, sources told ESPN Adam Schefter on Monday. The Dolphins are signing Hafley to a 5-year contract, sources told Schefter. So, we'll stop it right there because there is no detail of how much he's getting paid. It's just 5 years. Now, how do I? It's hard for me to describe how I feel because we only had Jeff Hafley for 2 seasons. In fact, last season he was getting interviewed by the Jets, and it's kind of ridiculous. It's like, like if you're going to go to a job and you work there for maybe like you got your feet wet for a year, and all of a sudden you're getting offers from other places to make more money, but you just got there at your present job. So it's like it's kind of slap in the face to your employer. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand of the opportunity. I understand about the opportunity, but I just don't get how you would be with the team for 1 year, then automatically want to jump ship for something better. But it's too soon to tell how much of an impact this is going to do to our defense. Jeff Hafley, I wish him well. I think he's going to have some very harsh, like he's going to have some harsh struggles down in Miami. I don't know how he is with offensive mind, but defensive mind, I kind of got a picture of it. It's like, sorry for doing another analogy. It's like dating someone for a couple months and then saying, "Hey, do you want to get married?" You don't know that person well enough to say, "Hey, is this the one? Is this going to be a success? It's going to be great." And that's how I feel about Jeff Hafley going to Miami. I can't really say much that he's going to be a great fit for the Dolphins. And I don't know what his resume was before he was the coach of Boston University, but I know a bit about him being a defensive coordinator for the Packers, and I know that he liked blitzes and I want to say zone coverage. But yeah, that's about it. So if you're a Dolphins fan and you're asking me, hey Josh, do you think we're gonna have it better with better than McDaniels? Maybe, I don't know. I'm sorry, I just don't have any information to give y'all. All I can say is, hey, best of luck. I hope you Dolphins fans, if you're a Dolphin fan, let me tell you this much: low expectations, low expectations, because I don't know what I don't know what your season's gonna look like. You got Tua, who you don't know if he's, personally, I don't know if he's the guy or not, because he's showing flashes that he can be that guy, but he can't stay healthy. And then what about Tyreek Hill? There was a lot of drama about him wanting out of Miami, and now he wants to stay in Miami. So I don't know what that's gonna look like for y'all. All I can say is low expectations, and best of luck to y'all. But for my opinion, as far as the Packers defense and what it's gonna look like next season, I think we're gonna struggle. I don't know what defensive coordinator we're gonna be interviewing, and I don't know who is going to be interviewing the candidates for that position. I cringe that it's gonna be Matt LaFleur, because Matt LaFleur has a bad habit of hiring his buddies, holding him around the shoulder, and it's like, hey, I got you. No matter what you do, if you screw up, I'm gonna back you 100%, and I'm not going to fire you. And then a couple of years later, I feel like the president, says, "Hey, you gotta fire him. We're not winning games." We've seen that with Joe Barry, and we have seen it with past coordinators that were friends with Matt LaFleur. So I'm cringing at the fact that Matt LaFleur is going to bring in someone that he knows from a previous team that he was with, and it's going to be bad. Uh, Now, if they said, like, if somehow we got Robert Saleh, then I will feel pretty good about Robert Saleh being the Packers, defensive coordinator. But I honestly think that if he had a choice, Robert Saleh, he would either be a head coach of a team, which I'm pretty sure that he is doing head coach, interviews right now, or he will stay with the 49ers. But either way, I don't see him coming to Green Bay. So I think our defense is going to struggle pretty bad this season. Um, because one, I don't know who is going to be our defensive coordinator, and then two, our guys are going to have to get used to the the defensive coach's play calling and style, and so there's that. And then two, we're gonna be without Micah Parsons for the most of the season, so I honestly think that the Packers are going to really struggle this season. And in fact, we may even miss the playoffs just because of losing Jeff Hafley. I'm not saying Jeff Hafley was like this wonderful, defensive coordinator whisperer, but again, is sticking with what you know, and I really feel that what we had with Jeff Hafley was good enough. It could have been better, but it was good enough. So the question is, like, hey, are we going to find someone better, or is it going to be worse? And then if it's worse, that means that the offense is going to have to get their act together and put up points. And it's going to be one of those things where Packers are probably going to have to score up to 30 plus points in order to win games. That's depending on what the defense is going to look like. But I feel like with Michael Parsons being out, it's going to be a struggle. And that's if we don't cut Rashawn Gary or get rid of any other defensive pieces like Inabari or I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but if we keep the defensive players that we have right now, we might be able to, make it to where the offense doesn't have to put up some points. But if we start, topping at some defensive players, then yeah, we are going to struggle. But again, these are my thoughts. I'm not going to be a delusional Packer fan and say, oh, we're going to be fine. We're going to be great. We're going to take the North this year. Because if you're a Packer fan, I'm going to tell you all right now, I don't see us taking the North next season because of us losing Jeff Hafley, Micah Parsons being unavailable for most of the season. And I promise you, if we are not in the hunt for a wild card spot, I can promise you Micah Parsons is not playing. And then two, what is Ed Policy going to think with the first year of Matt LaFleur's contract extension and we missed the playoffs? What is Ed Policy's mind thinking? But I'm going to say that for another video later on the season. But thank you for watching on this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe if you're new to this. And please look out for more content like this. And again, I do plan on doing Let's Talk with anime, video games, and whatever else comes up. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.